October 21st, 2025. So it's a busy day because Beyond Meat is having a short squeeze. It's going parabolic. The market is almost at its all-time high. SPY is almost at its all-time high, but can't quite break through. So instead of going in all of those other things, I've been looking at what other stocks could I double down on that have the potential to go up more than the overall market could. And I chose WeBull. Now, I am red across the board on these at the moment, but I think there's some upside. There are some risks for sure. So I have a lot of longer term positions. I do have a handful of short positions. So here I have a cash secured put that's going to expire and I'll be assigned shares. Great. Give me the shares. I have a short term call that will likely expire worthless. I think I have one in November. Um, I have one at the end of October, but these, if they go to zero, it's not the end of the world. The ones I'm really interested in are the 2028 ones and the actual shares themselves. So, what do I see in bull? I mean, let's first start with a chart. The reason why I'm interested in bull is I see some accumulation. It is currently in a downtrend. We did start to see a breakout of the first downtrend. So if I go to the 4-hour chart, it's easier to see. If I go to the 4-hour chart here and I zoom in just a little bit, you can see it broke out of this downtrend on low volume though. So down here I have relative volume. It didn't quite have enough to squeak up again, and so it's still sort of wavering around. I believe this is accumulation right here and potentially right here by some big players. The reason why I think that is if you look at this spike down here, you see quite a bit of volume on this wick. And so that seemed interesting to me. If you zoom in further on that relative volume spike, on let's say the 30-minute chart, you can see really where the high relative volume was at. And it was all in this range. It could be someone offloading more shares. But honestly, at this level, after such a run downwards, like where was its high? Its high was 18. I feel like it was even higher than that. Yeah, it started off. It's a recent IPO, so we don't have enough data. Wow, it started off at almost $80. Okay. Well, the daily chart doesn't go back that far. That's perhaps another reason why this is risky. We don't even have data on this. The reason I think why it hasn't broken out yet, we don't have volume. It's kind of just drifting sideways, but it's sort of created this support level right where that relative volume spike was. So someone's holding a lot of shares at this level, and I am starting to see a little bit of spike in relative volume here and there as it reaches around $11 or so. And so my entire thesis is based off one thing: RobbinHood. It's a baby RobbinHood. What did RobbinHood do? Well, RobbinHood is essentially like WeBull, but I think WeBull does it better. I like their app better. I stopped using RobbinHood, and not because of the GameStop incident many years ago, but because I think WeBull is a better app, provides a better experience, and for me, it kept working during the AWS outage. It was a little shaky here and there, but I could at least buy and sell things. RobbinHood, I couldn't do anything. It just didn't work at all. So, RobbinHood, let's see. Let's suppose that we're somewhere in the early stages with WeBull. We're probably here, sort of like here. I think somewhere in this range, RobbinHood started to be profitable. Oh, not quite yet. Somewhere in this low range, they started to turn a profit. That's really when they started to skyrocket. Let's see where that is. Yeah, so right about here. And you can see from the beginning, they were at $8 and they started to show signs of profitability. They got up to 17, and now where are they? Gosh, they're in the stratosphere. 100, 136. Yeah. Why would you buy something for 136 when another stock that's trading for $11 can do exactly what Robinhood could do but better? Now, obviously, the risk here. Let's see. they're not profitable. Still risky, but they have lots of users. There is a China connection. Their company is based in America, but there's a China connection, and I know U.S. China relations are not that great right now. So if it goes down further, if it goes down to like 6, I wouldn't be surprised. I would I would load the boat, so to speak, if it goes down this far. Um, but the risk of it going down to 6, while that could happen, there is also the chance of it going all the way back up to where its IPO started. And so that's kind of why I'm playing this game. It could go all the way down, but I think long term, as it eventually reaches profitability, it could get up to the 20, 30, $40 range, just like Robinhood started to do, and ideally go into the stratosphere. There is some risks in the U.S. as well. There's the credit crisis, government shutdown, tariffs. I mean, all of these play negatively on the entire market as a whole. That's why I'm not playing any more big caps at the moment. Bull is a nice small company where I think there's a lot of upside that makes it worth the risk. Um, just looking over here in unusual whales, I was checking out their short shares available. It looks like they were shorted heavily, but now not so much. So it's not going to be a short squeeze situation. And then over at MZ Trading, I like this user interface. Unusual Whales has the same. Um, just to get an idea of what sort of calls and puts people are buying, I see a lot of calls around the 15 mark in January 16th, some in November as well. I believe I'm part of this. And then I see a put wall at 12.5. We're currently under the put wall. That usually provides a support area. Because we're under it, anything could happen. Um, so this gives me confidence to keep holding, as well as the long term story of it being a baby Robinhood. But we'll see. This is one I don't expect anything tomorrow or the next day, but going into November. And in fact, let me show you this in unusual whales. If I look at the daily gamma exposure, what you'll notice is that um, by strike, we have lots of calls around the $15 mark, more puts around the 12.5 mark, sure. But then by expiration date, we actually used to have a ton of puts around in the end of October. So currently we have more calls actually in the end of October. The reason for that was because they had a IPO stock lockup expiry, and so that corresponded with a nice steep downtrend. I think it started right about here. Shares were expiring, or it probably started a couple days before. I can't remember exactly, but that caused a huge sell off, and then it wasn't until down here where we started to see accumulation again. So I'm bullish on bull. Let's see what happens.